You can't say yes to this unless you say no to that. I'm saying no to this because I know this is the yes I'm supposed to respond to.
Has your life, your dreams been interrupted? Good news. It is possible to reinvent our lives. People are doing it every day, and some are brave enough to share the struggles, disappointments, and challenges. If you are looking for a new beginning, a do-over, or to rediscover your passion, maybe even find a new one, then grab a cup of coffee and let's talk. Interrupted, Act 2, Reinventing Your Legacy, with your host, Coach Lori.
Wendy Gunn, her webpage is yourhomeforgod.com. She is a master at helping you see your potential, but even more so, maybe not more so, maybe as equal, is helping us build a foundation with an email list that is automated and works. Welcome.
Thank you, Lori.
So let's start with talking about how you've sort of had a pivot in your passion.
I realized I'm not passionate about email list building. So I thought I need to figure this out. And then I realized it's right in there at the foundation of my email list building. I presented in Houston and felt like, yes, I know what I'm doing. I know. And I got a lot of good feedback. And I thought, yes, I married my passion, which is to tell people and to help them see and embrace who you are. He made me uniquely. And when I embraced that and stopped copying and comparing and competing and coveting everybody else's life, then I was able to start achieving big goals. And within that was a big event, devastating event, being diagnosed with ovarian cancer. That's what God used to shake me up, wake me up. Life changed from then on. I knew, my story is unique. It's not. I was trying to take this from this person, that from this person, and add it in and make a story from it. And I realized, no, my story is unique. From this day forward, it's not like anybody else's. But it also then gave me a deep desire to change, desperate to change, to become more healthy. I was extremely obese, so I lost 50 pounds the next year and really wanted to be healthier. I don't know if you've heard the term besetting sin. For me, that was my besetting sin at the core of everything else, the first domino. When I was able to knock that domino down, it was like, I can do anything. There's nothing I can't do with God's help if I can do this. It changed my life. I became more organized to the point where people started coming to me for tips. I realized when you graduate from high school, then you think, what am I supposed to do with the rest of my life? We have this misconception that that's the only time we ask that. We ask that over and over at very pivotal, very important times in our life. And one of those important times is when our kids, they're all grown now. Now what do I do with the rest of my life? The age of 50 is a very critical time in our lives. I want to encourage women because I have achieved probably my biggest goals after 60. It's like, are you kidding? Life is just beginning. I am so excited about all the things that I want to accomplish. I almost feel like I don't have enough time to accomplish them all, but it's definitely not over. So it's an exciting topic for me. I love encouraging women to think outside that box. What you think about is so important. One of the things that Eileen shared when we were in Houston.
Eileen is our coach, and Wendy just went to an event with her.
She said, do not give emotional energy to anything but your desired outcome. I definitely needed to change and adopt that principle. We have a tendency to focus on the negative. I can't because of that. I can't do that. I can't do that. And I say, why not? Why not? Who says? Who says you can't? I'm 67. I've changed a lot in the 6-7 years. Started this business, but I had been blogging before that, but I started this business. I get super excited about this. Is my passion to encourage and help you embrace who you are and what your story is. Recognize it's being written.
you talked about getting your weight under control. So that was a big deal for you to lose that weight.
I lost 50 pounds, gained some of it back, lost 50 pounds again. And that was at the age of 60. I lost 50 pounds again. And then since June of 2022, I've lost another 20. So now I'm 20 pounds over my wedding weight, and my goal is to get down to my wedding weight.
And how has that changed your life?
Oh my goodness. I did not realize how other people saw me. And when I lost weight, I saw people respond to me differently. But I believe that part of that was because I was a different person. I had more confidence. The more weight I've lost, the more confidence I've had. Said it was that first domino as well. I thought, if I can do this, I can do anything. But I have realized how I had to reach a point of desperation. And God has really taught me that He transforms me more through my trials than through my triumphs. After I gave my life to Christ, about every 6 or 7 years, it's as though He prepares me for a big harvest, a big thing. I'm not a gardener, but my husband is, so I have this principle. You go out with the tiller and you till up the ground, you till up the soil, then you dump fertilizer on it. What does that look like in my life when He's preparing to do a big work in me? In 2015, it felt like He took everything that I loved, removed it, and that tilling of the soil prepared me for losing 50 pounds in 2016. My daughter met her husband-to-be, got married in 2017. I started my business in 2018. Many things happened after that. I took my whole family in 2018 on a dream trip to Italy with miles that I had saved up. But I had to go through a big grieving process. I lost my mom in 2015, and she had had dementia. I lost my brother. I lost him 7 months after my mom. I had to have surgery suddenly that I wasn't expecting. And I was a nanny, and I found a friend to take my nanny job. And I gave her very explicit directions on what to do and what not to do. I knew that if she did more than was expected, they'd go, hey, why don't you be my nanny instead of Wendy? She didn't listen and she didn't hear, and she did that, and they offered her the job. She felt so bad. But this friend basically stole my beloved nanny family from me. I had to forgive. I had to work through grieving and forgiving and all this internal work. But it prepared the soil of my heart to change and to be desperate to say, God, I need to change me. And then I lost weight. People, when they ask, well, how did you lose weight? One of the key things that I tell people is it's not one way that you lose weight. I've lost weight in 3 different ways. So what has to happen first is preparation of my heart and mind and soul. I have to be ready, whatever it takes. I'm going to do it. And then I pray and ask God, how do you want me to lose weight this time, Lord? After I'd lost 50 pounds, I found out that I'm sensitive to salicylates and MSG. And the thing was, I had lost weight on a low-fat diet, and I was eating a lot of things that later I found out were high salicylate. And through some fluky things, I found out that I'm sensitive to that. A lot of healthy foods are high salicylate. All berries, apples. So when somebody says, oh, you need to drink apple cider vinegar, I go, no, I don't. I can't. All peppers. There's just a lot of healthy foods that I cannot have, or I can have in very small doses. For women of this age, one of the things is emotions. Our hormones and emotions are so key. I was in my mid-40s when I got ovarian cancer, was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. I was 46, had to have a hysterectomy. Then the next year, so when I was 46, 47, I lost 50 pounds. One of the things that happens to me if I eat MSG, if I have MSG, it affects my nervous system so dramatically. I remember vividly being on a phone call with someone who I dearly loved, and I could not stop crying. I could not stop crying. And I just cried and cried and cried, and there really wasn't a reason. But that's what MSG does. Or my husband used to call it my child eating days, because the other thing that sometimes happens, my nervous system's affected and I get really intense and really agitated. I can't even stand to be in my own body, much less just stay away from me. I had to learn what was affecting me. And I've written on my blog articles about finding out this, because I thought it was PMS back in the day. I think now, looking back, a lot of it was food sensitivities and food intolerance.
One of the things when I email my guests is I ask people to tell their story with I versus you. And the reason is often people will say, if you go on this diet, you will lose this weight and you will feel awesome. And now the person listening is like, I went on that diet. I did not lose the weight and I feel crappy. And now I feel like, what's wrong with me? And what I hear you saying is so powerful, because there's so many things that will make us retain weight. I feel people are the most rude about weight. Back when my kids were little, their dad was a hairdresser, and next to his station was a very large, beautiful woman. And every client felt they had the right to talk to her about her weight. We loved her so much, and it broke our heart. It's so easy for people to be judgmental, to say to you, oh, just drink apple cider vinegar. We all want to be seen and heard. We don't want unsolicited advice. It's such a subtle way in the way we talk. And I was going to surprise you at the end, but I started an award, and it's called Just You, because when COVID hit and I had to be on so many Zooms, people talked in a way that I would leave feeling like, what is wrong with me? I felt like I didn't matter. I felt like I was a zebra or a penguin. Like I just felt like I was in a big pack and I didn't matter. And so then I thought, oh, I must be narcissistic. But then I recognized that people with trauma, which is 40% of every audience, suffers from this. What I recognized then, when leaders would say, hey, you guys, hey, everybody, I would watch all the cameras go off, or people would look down, get on their phone. And so I started to make the connection. So I was on a call with you, and I remember just leaning in, because it was so refreshing, because you never said, you guys, you never said, hey, everybody. There were other people on the call. I felt like you were talking just to me, and it really solidified the value of how we want to be seen and heard. And so you are the first recipient of my Just You award. And I thank you and I honor you for that, because it is intentional. What you brought to the table in that class I took of yours was, of course, the information was amazing. And I had to go, but I stayed longer than I should have, because I felt valued. I did not feel like I was part of a pack. I felt like I was individual.
Thank you, Lori. What an honor. Thank you so much. And your words just blessed me. I appreciate that so much. That's at the foundation of my Launch Your List live masterclass and Launch Your List offer, because you can help the people that you were put on earth to help, when first you know who you are, and then you do talk to one person. I do teach that. I think that's partly why my email open rate keeps going up, even though they say it will usually go down the more people you have on your list. Because I really do try to think about one person that I'm talking to when I'm writing, when I'm speaking, because I totally believe that God changes people one person at a time. I just appreciate your sharing that, and I receive this great honor. That's wonderful. I love that.
Something that we learn in marketing is when you talk to everybody, you talk to nobody. And that's why we niche down. And I fought niching down. But what happens is these awesome marketing people, then they don't take that into their verbal. Something you said is the connection. You really care about the person. And I believe these Zoom leaders, these podcasters, I believe they care. But unfortunately, they feel like I need to include everybody. They forgot Marketing 101. When you talk to everybody, you talk to nobody.
Yeah.
I'm on a mission. That's my passion. You have gone through these stages of pivot. So tell me now, what's your passion? What do you love? And what are you doing? What do you want us to know?
I really hope my story impacts you, because there's a specific thing that you are supposed to accomplish. I can't tell you what that is, but for me, I have achieved these goals after the age of 60, weight loss, then starting a business. I also then grew an email list to 12,000 plus in just a little over 2 years, with a 37% open rate. I invested in myself and went to a high-level business coach who we both are part of that group. She walked up to me and said, tell them how many you've got in your email list. And I didn't even realize that that was a gift. It was a skill. I didn't realize. And she said, do you know how many people want to know how to do that? I didn't. I pivoted to help entrepreneurs, a small business owner, or you may be a stay-at-home mom or someone who is now 50 plus and you're wondering what you should do with the rest of your life. You may feel called to start a business. I help you grow an email list by knowing who you are and who you are to help. And what's that one thing, like we said, niche down, what's that specific thing, solution that you have uniquely to help your ideal client with their specific problem? I help you figure that out. I give you lots of done for you elements. I have Launch Your List, and it has a lot of coaching and hand holding and guiding you through exactly the process. I have now been able to marry my passion with the email list building so that it is even more life-changing. I just love helping you to do that. Love helping because I know that it's transformational. I love helping you find out who you're supposed to help and how. That's what I'm excited about right now. And I'm excited about being a guest on podcasts like yours, Lori, and just getting the word out. I have an upcoming masterclass, Launch Your List Live Masterclass.
How do they sign up?
I will give you the link here, but I think it can be included in the show notes. But it is at yourhomeforgod.com/LYLL-MC-2. LYLL stands for Launch Your List Live. MC stands for Masterclass. So it's /LYLL-MC-2. And that will be updated. So the next masterclass will be able to be signed up for there. And yourhomeforgod.com is at the front. That's the name of my company.
Often what our brilliance is, we don't even recognize. Like when Eileen said to you, tell them how much about your email list. You're like, well, it's just my email. Like, we don't know what our brilliance is. And then second of all, the reason I took your class is I have not been able to figure out how to manage my email. And I have tried all these little things. So now I'm launching this new series of women podcasters and I don't even know how to schedule an email. So I'm putting them all in drafts and then I've got to go find them. And I'm thinking about, because I took your master class, I'm like, it's time. It's time for me to not waste my time on these little things when I have this bigger thing that I'm supposed to be sharing. And that's what I hear you saying. The email list can actually, by doing it in a way that you recommend, will open up the doors for me to actually give more of what I'm here for.
Absolutely. And that is so true. When I realized that, I didn't realize my own secret sauce, so to speak. That's what I help you identify. And often we need an outside person to look and go, look, you don't recognize this. But then one of the big pluses about Launch Your List Live, big plus about this program is that it is the fast way. It is a way to automate things. We need to automate as much as possible so that we can focus on what's truly important. And most of us, we can either spend all this time on the tech and the email and all of those things, or we can spend time on what we're really good at, the things that will attract our ideal client. And we need to automate. Because you can always make more money, but you can't get time back. So I help you so that you're not going to miss your family and friends' lives and connections with them. You're not going to miss, and women who have families, maybe they have grandchildren, you only get one chance to make those memories. These things that happen, they happen and they're gone and you don't get them back again. So it's so important. And I talk a lot about priorities. If you go to my blog, I talk about goals and priorities and knowing what's important for you. I can't tell you what's most important for you, but I do know that people and relationships are so important. To automate the system and have that system, I have now developed 6 months of automated emails that go out. Once, if you subscribe, I wrote them all, but now they're automated. So I am not having to deal with that on a day-to-day basis, and I can do this instead. That takes time to get to that point, but the sooner you get things automated with the right foundation. If you've ever built a house, I'm a believer in the Bible, and he talks about the foundation. When your foundation is right and good, that's everything. And this is the right foundation. So yeah, you can wait and you can put it off, but it's like coming back to fix your foundation of your house after you've built it all up and it's crumbling. Mm-hmm. The time to have a good foundation is at the beginning.
Any masterclass, any group I've been in, okay, true confession, they have said, build your email list and make that your foundation. As I'm growing, as things are happening, that foundation, it's taken a lot of my time and I've missed. For instance, I forgot to email someone. So I love what you do. And I'm just so grateful that I met you. And this has been so amazing. My big takeaway from you is that especially it's never too late. We're never done. And so often people will say like, well, I'm 60 or well, I'm retiring. And I'm like, yay, you're just starting. And they look at me like I'm crazy, but I love it. You know, we all know Colonel Sanders started later in life. The lady who wrote Lessons in Chemistry, that amazing book. It was her first book. It was later in life. It took off. That doesn't happen for everybody, but it's never too late. And what I love too, is you were saying in the beginning, and this really hit me, is you were taking this and taking that, which I think is really good. We want to take all of our experiences, but really, where is our passion? Often the passion is in something kind of small that doesn't seem significant enough. So that's what I took away from that. And it really encouraged me for the things that I'm doing to really focus on what's really important, because maybe it's so important to me, but maybe other people don't recognize it yet, and it could help and bless others.
Oh, absolutely, Lori. And just to encourage you as an older, may I say that? As an older woman myself, we don't have the distractions that we had. And there's a reason why you have that passion. There's a reason. I believe God puts passions in our hearts and dreams. I also talk a lot about daring to dream, because I have met, and I was one of those people that pushed my dreams down. I said, no, I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that. There's a reason that I had dreams. There's a reason you have dreams and passions, to embrace them and own them. Open up your vision to see what are the possibilities with that. It's super exciting. And I just think there's this whole world of experience and wisdom you and I, as older women, represent amazing potential to change the world and make a difference. I just encourage you to grab hold of that passion and even let it grow and build, because who knows the difference you can make.
I love it that it's never too late. Getting a good foundation is so important. So thank you, Wendy, so much for being with us.
You, Lori. I've just enjoyed this so much.
3 things we learned from Wendy. It's never too late to live your dream or to pivot into a new dream. You might be retaining weight because you have food sensitivities. Maybe it's not because you're a bad dieter or you don't have willpower. If you have a home business, an email list will serve you well. And if you can get it to a place where it's automated and duplicatable, it will save you time and money.
If you love this podcast, here's a big ask. Will you share with your friends and family, subscribe, give us a review, and a 5-star rating so that others looking to reinvent their lives will be able to get the help they're looking for? Thank you in advance.